Don't worry, if you've ever asked this question, whether out loud or just in your own head, you are not very much alone when it comes to this. This is a very popular question in the world of motorsport because, truthfully, it's not something that's spoken about much, but it does happen, and it happens more than you think. What happens when an IndyCar driver needs to use the bathroom, needs to use the facilities for a number one or a number two? What actually happens in that regard? What happens when this happens? Well, I've got all the answers that you guys need or want when it comes to this question right here in this video for you guys. So let's use the Indy 500. It's the longest race of the season. It's anywhere between 3 and 5 hours long. It's 500 miles. It's a very, very long time spent in the car. If there's no red flags, if there's no major delays, there is a very good chance that you'll need to use the bathroom at some point. After all, think about it. 3 to 5 hours, you'll probably need to go for something at some point, but you can't exactly do that while you're out there racing around the track at 200 miles an hour. Or can you? Well, before we get into the nitty-gritty of that, let's first talk about the actual hydration and the conditions that these drivers have to put up with. Now, of course, like we always talk about here on the channel, guys, these guys are absolute athletes. There is no getting away from that fact. The cockpit temperatures can exceed over 40 degrees Celsius, which is well over 100 degrees Fahrenheit during these races. Obviously, the Indy 500 was not very hot this year, but it can be really, really sweltering out there. And you were, of course, sitting in there while strapped to this car, being thrown around at 200 miles an hour with full-on racing overalls, a helmet, gloves, boots, the lot. It's like going out on a very, very hot day with a full winter coat. It must be unbearable. So these guys, unsurprisingly, have to really manage their hydration. They are going to sweat a lot during this race. Liters of fluid is lost, so therefore liters of fluid have to be taken on beforehand. And in fact, they take on a lot of drinking fluids throughout the race and also before the race as well. Normally, they'll have a drinks bottle in the car. It'll be around a liter or so of fluid. Before that, though, they will be managing their hydration throughout the entire day to be in the best possible conditions to get into the car and lose as much fluid as what is required with that. And that does mean, unfortunately, that they are more susceptible to needing to go to the bathroom during that 3 to 5 hour event. And planning your bathroom breaks is something that is very important to not need to go for as long as possible during the race. Helio Castro Neves actually described this back in 2021. He said, and I quote, "First of all, I will prepare myself so that I don't need to go during the race," end quote. But still, you can prepare for it all you want, but when nature calls, sometimes you need to answer. So what do? Well, to put it crudely, sometimes they just go. If they need a wee, they will very much just go in the race suit. After all, it is a flame-proof suit, effectively. But the hardest thing about it really is the fact that a lot of drivers have actually described, especially in Formula 1, have said that it's very, very difficult to actually go to the toilet to kind of force that out, for lack of a better term. I know it's quite a crude image, but because of all the G-forces being placed upon your body, it's very difficult to actually find the force, really, to actually relieve yourself in that scenario. So it's very difficult. You could do it while there's a safety car out, while there's a full course yellow, but it's difficult even then, apparently. But it's possible too. And also, you've got to imagine as well, if you need to go to the toilet and it felt not that bad, felt like you can leave it, you can wait, but then you get into the car and you feel like you really need to go. That's all to do with your bladder basically kind of being bunched up a little bit, the pressure on it actually getting higher. And again, these guys are strapped into these cars with like 6-point harnesses and everything. There's not a lot of room to maneuver around, so I can imagine it's extremely painful actually to need to go to the toilet and then actually try and hold it. Honestly, I'd personally just go. It's a bit disgusting, I will be honest, but what's the alternative? But there is one benefit to needing to go. I will actually just mention this before. This is just a general thing that you guys may not be aware of, but apparently if you need to go to the toilet, you need to go to the bathroom to relieve yourself, your decision making actually improves, apparently. So it can actually help you in that regard if you're trying to actually avoid an accident or something like that, although I imagine their decision making processes are actually pretty good to begin with. But there we go, guys. So for lack of a better term, they basically try and prepare as much as possible before the race, and if they need to go during the race, they just go. You know, drivers have been honest about it in the past and admitted they've done it before. It's pretty rare they go through their entire career and not need to do it, but it's not as regular as you may think, but also maybe not as rare as you might think either. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to see much more content, hopefully a little less like this, but definitely on the world of motorsport just like this. Have a great day, guys, wherever you are in the world today, and we'll see you very soon.